ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from the 10th canto, chapter 46, text 41. यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारी तत्रात्मा कर्तेवहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्तेवहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वहं दिया स्मृता यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या भ्राम्यातिवा महीयते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वाहं दिया स्मृता। माताजी, यथा ब्रह्मारिका दृष्ट्या ब्रह्मा इते चित्ते कर्तारि तत्रात्मा कर्ते वाहं दिया स्मृता। Word by word translation. Yataha, as Brahmarika, because of whirling around. Drishtya, in one's vision. Brahmayate, whirling. In Iva, as Mahi, the ground. Iyate, appears. Chitte, the mind. Kartari, being the doer. Tatra, there. Atma, the self. Karta, the doer. Iva, as if. Ahad, aham diya, because of the false ego. Smritaha is thought. Translation and purport. Translation: just as a person who is whirling around perceives the ground to be turning, one who is affected by false ego thinks himself the doer, when actually only his mind is acting. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a parallel idea. Although our happiness and distress are caused by our interaction with the material quality, we perceive the Lord to be their cause. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I seek for blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas to present something on today's verse. This is a very beautiful chapter where Uddhava visits Vrindavan on the instruction of Sri Krishna. Krishna, besides desiring to pacify the residents of Vrindavan, wanted to favor Uddhava by giving him the chance to see and study the highly elevated ecstatic devotional service practiced by these Brajvasis. So few weeks this pastime is going on, and devotees are speaking very nicely on this. And Uddhava first speaks to, there's a very beautiful description given of Vrindavan when Uddhava enters Vrindavan. Then Uddhava speaks to Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj, overwhelmed by separation, actually fell silent, overcome by the strength of his love and in separation for Krishna. And then Uddhava starts speaking, and of course Uddhava tries to pacify them, and he is not able. Actually, you cannot pacify them. They are always in separation of Krishna, how much ever you could try to pacify them. Then he begins delivering the message of Krishna, like the last Sunday, Govind Babu gave a very beautiful class on this. And then finally Uddhava says, he tries to pacify them, then finally he says, be rest assured Krishna will come back. Only then there was hope in them, then they could be pacified. But actually it was just hope giving, he was just giving them hope. He could never pacify them. So then we come to this verse where few weeks back Govind Babu just said that he was trying to speak Bhagavad Gita to the Brajvasis. So here we have come to a Bhagavad Gita verse. And I am speaking Bhagavad Gita to the Brajvasis here. Just as a person who is whirling around, perceiving the ground to be turning, perceives the ground to be turning. In our childhood we have experienced this. We whirl around and then we stand at one place. Here devotees do it during Guru Puja also. And then you feel as if the ground is whirling. But it is said due to false ego, one thinks himself the doer. It is just perception. Actually, it is the mind which is acting. Perception is how do we achieve. Human intelligence is properly utilized in whatever situation is when it comes to understand that simply reacting by your intellectual power is not the highest virtue. The highest virtue can be achieved when in every situation you see an opportunity. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gives a very nice example of a rose bush. When you see a rose bush, some people claim it is full of thorns. This rose bush is full of thorns, and you start grumbling. Some people become very happy. They say this thorn of bushes has a beautiful rose. So it is just a perception. If you see with rose-colored glasses, you see everything rose-colored. If you see with yellow-colored glasses, you see everything yellow-colored. If you see with whatever green-colored glasses, you see everything green-colored. When opportunities knock on the door, most of us complain of the sound. So His Holiness says that opportunity is a vision, which is when you see the invisible. To see the positive possibility in every situation that come upon us. Accordingly, in our state of consciousness is what certain attitudes we have. And that attitude we achieve by the association we have. And with that association, we perceive what the world is, how the world reacts with us. How we react to situation is also based on our association, our perception and our particular attitude and the motivations we have. The example is given of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, nowadays we have these hate speeches. And these hate speeches completely bewilders innocent mankind. The first hate speech was given by Suniti Mother Suniti, in Dhruva's episode, where she tells that you are not fit to sit on the lap of your mother, on the lap of your father, Uttanapad. But Dhruva's mother Suniti had accepted her fate as the will of the Lord. And she had not developed hatred within her. She accepted everything as the will of the Lord. She accepted that she is not the favorite wife of the king. And when Dhruva was insulted, he was very angry because of his nature as a Kshatriya. He came hissing like a snake, it is said. He was hissing like a snake with anger when he came to his mother. But his mother did not instill hatred in him. His mother could see a good opportunity even in the hateful words of Mother Suniti, Mother Surichi. And she guided and instructed her child accordingly. Due to that hate speech, even with that hate speech, Mother Suniti convinced her child to accept the valuable instruction in those Surichi's hateful words, without himself becoming a victim of hatred or a slave of that hatred. So there is a question arises, what do devotees do? Devotees just accept everything that comes. Does that mean that devotee should allow himself or herself to be trampled upon? Srila Prabhupada very emphatically says no. Neither aggression nor meek submission in itself indicates spiritual advancement. What counts is our motivation. What motive we have and what do we perceive with these motivations. But actually within the material world we are sucked into this whirlpool of duality. Ichha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata. And because of that duality, foolish jiva expresses himself in this love and hate of physical, social and regulative life. So here when Uddhava has come here, he sees all these devotees are beyond all that. They are just speaking of Krishna, love for Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that, this Bhumi Rapo Nalavayo Kham Mano Buddhire Vacha Ahankara Iti Amme Binna Prakriti Astada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence and false ego. Altogether these 8 constitute my separated material energy. And Krishna says how these working senses are superior than dull matter. How dull matter is superior than the senses. How mind is more superior, higher than the intelligence. How mind is higher than the senses. And intelligence is higher than the mind. And the soul is much higher than the intelligence. If we filter our mind through this process of devotional service or any genuine spiritual practice, it brings our consciousness back to that original state which is pure. That can be achieved only by association of devotees and those who are following and practicing this path. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a very parallel concept to this. He speaks of happiness and distress and the mind. He perceives the Lord to be the cause. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. The whole material creation runs by the 3 modes of material nature. And by false ego, bewildered in the influence of false ego, jiva thinks himself to be the doer. So, when we are victimized, do not victimize yourself by negative self-talk. When we victimize ourselves with negative self-talk, negative talking, that is when we get into this dualities of desire and hatred and get influenced by the 3 modes. This perception is according to how we develop it, how it is developed. A child has a very undeveloped, a very small child, newly born child. If you leave him on a bed or on a platform, he will crawl and he will fall over. He doesn't have the intelligence that when you come to the border you stop or you will fall over. They don't have that intelligence. So we have to develop this intelligence. Like here it is said, when you are whirling, you feel the ground is this thing. In Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, again, Narad Muni tells Dhruva Maharaj, one should try to keep himself satisfied in this condition of life without being distressed or in happiness, which is offered by the Supreme Will. You accept everything as it is offered by the Supreme Will. Whatever activities we perform in this material world is due to our pious and impious activities. The happiness we achieve is due to the pious activities we have done, result of the pious activities we have done, and the distress and the miseries we experience is by the impious activities we have done. Instead of being attached to this circumstantial happiness and distress resulting from pious and impious activities, if we try to get out of this clutches of this nescience and surrender to the will of the Lord, accept everything as the will of the Lord, then it is much easier. Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks, Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor arpitu tua pade nanda kishore. Mind, body, family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet. I just heard one joke. A person joined office. It was the first day of work. So when he was on the first day of work, he was not taking anybody's call or anybody calling him. He was very busy with his work. Then when he comes home, he says, today you were very busy. Yes, I was very busy. It was the first day of my work. So his family people asked him, what were you doing? They had given me a keyboard and a computer. In the keyboard, the alphabets were not arranged properly. So I was arranging the alphabets properly. So similarly, in this material world, we are trying to arrange everything properly. Everything is designed by the Lord, and if we accept it as it is, life will be much simpler and easier. But we try to arrange everything according to our whims and fancies. So in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna tells Arjuna that mind is the cause of this happiness and distress. And Arjuna is listening, and after some time he says, it is difficult. Chanchalahi mana Krishna, pramati balavad dridam. So he says the mind is very restless, turbulent, obstinate. Tasyaham nigraham manye vayor api sudur dushkaram. It is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. And Krishna accepts it. He says, yes, undoubtedly the mind is very difficult to control. Asamshaya mahabaho. But still you can control it by vairagya and detachment. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. And whose mind is controlled, who strives by appropriate means and practice, assures success. Krishna says, that is my opinion. He doesn't force Arjuna. So Arjuna very willingly follows it. And same question is this thing in Bhagavatam when Parikshit Maharaj is asking the same question. I am going to leave my body, what do I do? So Sukdev Goswami gives similar instruction. He says, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavya Chet Abhayam. He is telling, O descendant of the Bharata dynasty, Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Ishvara, Hari, Krishna. Hari is one who takes away all your miseries. Shrotavya Kirtitavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavya. By hearing about him, by singing his glories, and by always remembering him, Ichet Abhayam, you will be free from this fear. You will get freedom from this cycle of birth and death. Freedom from this fear of birth, old age, disease and death. Few weeks back, Akinchan Krishna Prabhu gave a very nice class, and he explained very nicely that because of this pastime, when Uddhava went back and explained the separation of the gopis to Krishna, Krishna desired to experience this love. Krishna desired to experience this love, and that's how he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in that Leela, he did wonderful pastimes with his devotees, loving reciprocation with his devotees. So Narottam Das Thakur prays, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar, Mausama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Bear. This incarnation of yours is Patita Pavan, to uplift the fallen, suffering humanity, suffering souls. And Narottam Das Thakur claims himself to be the most fallen. Similarly, today is Dahi Chida festival. And Raghunath Das Goswami was one such Vairagi. It is said, it is explained that Raghunath Das Goswami was a Vairagi from inside, from within. He went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would run away from home, and because he was from a very opulent family, he had people, ministers who would go and catch him and get him back. Still he would leave and run away. So it is explained that he was renowned. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs him, no, you must live as a family man, take care of your business. But then still he could not sustain that for long. He was internally renounced, but externally he was acting like a businessman, taking care of the business. So his parents were very happy to see that. But then still he could not sustain that for long. He would run away from home, then they would catch him again, get him. So one day his mother told his father that our son has become mad. So you must bind him and keep him, What is the need to leave him free? So his father being very unhappily replied. He said, our child has the opulence of King Indra, and he has a wife who is as an apsara, more beautiful than an apsara, than an angel. If this could not tie his mind, how could this rope tie him? Chaitanya Chandra Kripa, he has received Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has bestowed his full mercy on him. Who can keep home such a madman who has received Chaitanya Chandra's mercy? Then one day Raghunath Das just contemplated, and he got to know that Nityananda Prabhu is coming to Panihati. So he came to Panihati to meet Nityananda Prabhu. Panihati grame paile Prabhura darshan kirtaniya sevaka sangha arabahugan. In the village of Panihati, Raghunath Das obtained an interview with Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtan performers, servants and others. Having Nityananda's darshan, Raghunath Das became very happy, very astonished. Tale upar bahu bhakta Nityananda Vestita Deki Prabhura Prabhava Raghunatha Vismita. He became astonished by seeing Nityananda Prabhu, seeing the influence of Lord Nityananda. How devotees were sitting next to him. Raghunath Das offered obeisances from far. And Nityananda Prabhu called him, but he could not come. So then he did not come because of he was a little shy and a little reserved. So Nityananda Prabhu sends his devotees, and they get him by force. They get him by force, and Nityananda Prabhu forcefully caught him and placed him lotus feet on Raghunath Das's head. And then he tells, you are a chore, you are a thief, you are staying away, you are just like a thief. For instead of coming near, you stay away at the distance place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you, Nityananda Prabhu says. And then of course, like he instructs, Dadi chida bakshana karha mora gana, suni anandita hoila Raghunath Das. Make a festival of feed and feed all my associates, yogurt and cheap rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Das was very pleased. Raghunath Das was very pleased hearing this. Similarly, the explanation is given that the mind reacts to whatever instruction is given. Sometimes you are pleased, sometimes you are bewildered. The same instruction can bewilder you and please you. It is according to how you perceive it, how you accept the instruction. For a yogi, an example is given. He has to control his mind and senses by this practice. Otherwise, lust, greed, all this will kill him. Example is given of a woman who has a paramour, and the paramour kills the relatives or husband of the woman. Similarly, if the yogi is not vigilant, not very firm in his practice, his mind will bewilder him. greed, lust will kill him. So here, very nice explanation is given how Raghunath Das immediately becomes very happy by hearing the instruction. And he arranges for all the paraphernalia, everything is organized, everybody is fed shamshas. It is said Brahmanas were sitting and making 2 pots, one with milk and one with yogurt. Yogurt milk with, mixed with chipped rice, dry fruits, bananas, and similarly milk. And 7 big pots were given to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu was eating and sharing it with all his associates. And then 2 pots were given to each and every associates of Nityananda Prabhu and all the devotees. Everybody, the word spread all over the village. Everybody came from the village. And that if you have been to Panihati, there is, on the bank of the Ganga, there is a platform. Jagannath Prabhu knows. There is a platform and everybody sits on that. And everybody sat around Nityananda Prabhu and the whole platform was full. When the whole platform was full, more devotees came. When more devotees came, they sat below on the banks of the Ganges. Then even the banks of the Ganges got full. And then everybody got 2 pots, so they had to sit somewhere. So then they entered into the Ganges. It is said that even the Ganges was covered. And then all the villagers from nearby villages came. All the businessmen, they came with more ingredients. So Raghunath Das Thakur took all the ingredients from them and prepared more dahi chida and fed it to them only who came there, all the business people. And then Raghav Pandit came. Raghav Pandit came and saw this and he was completely mesmerized to see everything. And he came and told Nityananda Prabhu that I have prepared nice prasad for you. So you please come home. And Raghav Pandit told him, Prabhu kahe he dravya. Then Nityananda Prabhu immediately replied. He said, I will come, I will come. Prabhu kahe he dravya dina kariye bhojana. Ratra tumara gare prasada bhakshina. Now let me enjoy with all my friends here and eat nicely. And in the night I will eat whatever you have cooked. Only Nityananda Prabhu can do that. In the night I will eat whatever you have cooked. Then he says, Gopajati ami bahu gopagan. Gopajati ami bahu gopagana sange. Ami sukha pahiya pulina bhojana range. I belong to a community of coward boys and therefore I generally have many coward associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in picnic place like these sandy banks of the rivers. So like this in Panihati, he gave mercy to Raghunath Das Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. Then by his power, Nityananda Prabhu, by his power and his meditation, invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appeared there to enjoy this festival of Dahi Chida. And it is said that Nityananda Prabhu, as soon as he as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there, he immediately got up with a pot and made as a lumps of this thing on his hand, and he forcefully fed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly into his mouth, pushed it into his mouth. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had it very lovingly. And then they went around the whole place where all the devotees were sitting. But nobody could understand what was happening because nobody could see. They could see only Nityananda Prabhu doing that. And but there were some elevated personalities who could actually see. So that was Nityananda Prabhu's power. And Raghunath Das Goswami accepted that instruction and he got mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada says very emphatically that what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? Simply chanting, dancing and feasting. So this Dahi Chida festival is a very nice festival where we can feast. And a very simple way is dancing chanting and feasting, we can control this mind and engage it in the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Raghunath Das Goswami ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki.